power. Because one of his companies was also interested in that, was one of those that cost him his position.
His position, of course.
So it means that the process will have been thoroughly handled in such a way that those who had the capacity, and capacity now is not just technical know-how, the financial muscle to turn that place around and ensure that power is made available. Now it can become issue of who can afford it will get it. At least it will be available. The situation we have, just let me land on my thought. The situation we have is that the power was transferred, the ownership was transferred to people who don't have, and I'm able to say it, not only the technical capacity, but also the financial muscle. Because what we have seen over the years is that government kept on pumping a lot of money, trillions of naira. Even just recently, they said Nigerian government has owed maybe generation or transmission, I don't know, 3 points out of the about 6 trillion naira. They paid 3.6 trillion to a platform you have actually privatized. Currently, I do a course that centers on PPP. PPP is not run like that in any part of the world.
However, and my question is the energy issues we have in Nigeria distribution, just distribution?
It's not just distribution.
But
there are problems. Right. No, I never said that.
Because infrastructures...
the infrastructural deficit cuts across both the generation, transmission and distribution. So there is no any, but distribution is better than the other two. Transmission is the most difficult value chain among the three. But even our generation since 1999 till now, we are offering, I don't think we have done anything past 6,000 megawatts up to now as we speak.
In generation?
In generation. So as we speak today, the last time I heard the minister talking, he was talking about we have currently about 10,000 capacity of the transmission capacity now. But that means we don't even have enough that we have generated to transmit for the transmission capacity we have now.
Is it beyond?
Then the question is that what have the people who have gotten this ownership of this platform since 2013, 2014, what have they added to our generated power? Because at that time we were still generating around 4,000-5,000 in that time, and more than 10 years after, we are still hovering around the same number. So what have we gained from
privatization,
changing ownership to private entities? That's the question.
What did you hope to gain? Because again, we are talking about distribution and not generation. Yes. Infrastructures are
I don't like your way of saying it.
No, because
it's a whole value chain.
I mean, exactly.
That talks about generation, transmission and distribution. You can't single one out.
But let's talk about generation, which is where, when you even talk to the ministers, the several ministers of power, the first thing they say is we have dilapidated facilities. They cannot distribute what has not been generated. So that's where my question is.
So I'm saying to you,
you seem to have a problem with the 11 entities that the distribution component was privatized to.
But however, not only the discos are private now, right. Even the GenCos are also private entities.
But it seems like your problem right now is in distribution, and for a government that is serious. Now I'm quoting Fashola. I don't think this is rocket science. Do you think this administration has been intentional to solve the
problem? So I was going somewhere when I decided to go.
I want you to go back to this administration.
When I go to the root of the matter, what I'm saying now is that if Tinubu's administration will solve this problem once and for all, Fashola also touted around it, but I don't know whether he didn't get enough backing from the president to go, because I know I heard him a number of times when he said they have to revisit the privatization that was done under Jonathan.
Absolutely.
However, if we must resolve these issues, I think that privatization has to be revisited. We have to, I don't believe it, and it's one of those things I'm also working on. I don't believe in that popular maxim that government does not have business in business. Because we have other nations of the world.
China is exactly
government, public office spaces and do businesses, and they do it perfectly.
China is a model.
So China is a model. So I believe that once a president who is having the political will and understands that this power we talk about is like the major issue against most of the economic issues we have.
Absolutely.
We will address this issue frontally.
Before we go on a break, does Tinubu have the political will to address it frontally, having given 3 years into his administration, almost 4 years as we say?
And he has said,
don't vote for me if I do not fit in
yes. We can play down the statement that you people are hammering on. Don't vote for me if I don't.
Because
I've given you. Yes, I know. And that's why I said.
Don't dissect his manifesto and campaign statement.
Of course, definitely.
What else
we will see more as the campaign starts now.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things that the opposition will use against him, because this is your statement that was quoted. You said, if I don't do this, don't vote for me. He has some level of confidence. People say it. You campaign in prose. You govern in
pronouns or something like
that.
Yeah.
So at times when you have not gotten to the office, you will underestimate the challenges. But by the time you get into it, you see bigger picture. You see the picture
again,
better.
I will quote him when he said, "Don't pity me. I understand the challenges,
and I want myself and I'm ready to run." So, and you still say the same thing again now.
Right.
So the challenge is that I believe if Tinubu is ready to address the issues, the issue is not also. You will offend people, definitely. If I will rule Nigeria for just 2 years, I want to make my mark and run away. It doesn't matter whether I need to do. One of the problems we have been having. I mean what I'm saying.
We've had instances where politicians say, "Just give me 2 years, I'll fix everything."
And I mean it with everything in me.
Just like they meant it.
Because
we have so much more to discuss. This is Hardship Africa. We'll go on a very short break. When we return, we're still discussing the president purchasing a re-election nomination form. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Hardship Africa, the heartbeat of the continent in one show. Here, we celebrate Africa not as a headline, but as a home full of ideas, courage, flavor, and future. This is where we talk about everything Africa. The politics that shape our nations, the innovations that shift our economies, the culture that colors our lives, the challenges we face with honesty, and the victories we are building one story at a time. On this show, no topic is swept aside. We are unfiltered and we are intentional. We bring you experts from across the continent and the world. Voices that know, voices that live the African experience, voices that are shaping the next chapter of our story. Let your spirit rise. We don't just tell Africa's story, we own it. Join Joy Asonye on Hardship Africa, Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Global Television.
Welcome back from that. Now, so much is being discussed. Surprisingly, a lot of people had mixed feelings after that announcement of the president getting the nomination form for his re-election bid. Now, we still have Mr. Bosun Adeyeye right here in the studio. We've been discussing the precedent antecedent so far and what the president will campaign on. Now we're moving on to talk about of opposition. If opposition is even viable enough to, cost the president a second term. What's your thought on that?
So while we are going into opposition and what is time to do in order to stop the president or to give him run for his money, one thing I want to say is this. Obviously, all of us know that the president has not been able to solve the problem of power. And for me personally, that's a major issue for me. However, this president has done very well in some good areas. One of them is the removal of subsidy, like every of the candidates said during the campaigns. He didn't just say it, because most of the times we see presidents that will say some things at the time they were campaigning, but when they come into government, they will shy away because they want to be politically correct. A number of times they will reveal the implications of what they have said during campaign and felt like, oh, this will affect our fortune going into second tenure. Therefore, yes, we promised this, but we won't be able to do it. But we have seen this president as somebody who did not mind, who do still not mind whether his popularity wanes or not. As long as he thinks something is the right thing to do, he pursues it. I think he deserves some credit in that regard. They have done that in the area of our subsidy removal. They have done that in also unification of our exchange market, our foreign exchange market. Today, you don't have people who become instant billionaire because they participate in round tripping in CBN. Not even under Cardoso. A man that the president himself has said times and over is one man that can look at the president in the face and say, no, it's not going to happen. Even as a commissioner under him.
Exactly.
And that's one of those things that prompted him to say, come and work with me. Come and handle this place. Because he knows it's a tough job to do. So, and no wonder we see the kind of innovations, changes we have seen in CBN operations, and it has helped our monetary policies under this government. For the first time in a long while, CBN reported gain last year, 2025. It has not been like that over time. So, again, you look at another good thing that this government has done, NEF fund. I'm an insurance person. We were to do a policy aggregate for a school, one of the federal universities, just yesterday. And I was having a conversation with one of the consortium. I said, we normally do what we call student welfare scheme, student school fees protection policy. And we're arguing it. Does this thing still look like it's relevant again? Because if government can give me free platform to get my school fees paid, not only stopping at that, they are giving me stipend every month. Why do I need to take an insurance policy for protecting school fees? Right. But I can tell you for free, many children, particularly from the north, believe that no be government money. Because that when the program started, many children from the south, particularly from our side, they felt like, we will not be part of it because I don't want to. I don't want to take something.
Exactly.
But I'm afraid Northerners believe anything coming from government. I
don't know where you got that.
Patrimony. I'm talking from what I know. They always take it serious. Okay. They believe it's something to explore. But our people will think about it over and over. So as we speak now, many Nigerians, including people from our place, just recently, the official of Ladoke Akitola University was begging NEFON to pay 15,000 students who had applied from their place for their school fees. You can imagine from just one school. You can know how many families that have been affected. So there is no story of I gain admission, I can't go to school because my children and my parents are poor. That is one fundamental achievement under this government. You can go on and on again. Now coming to opposition. I think after 2 o'clock today, when the Supreme Court will deliver the judgment, we will actually know what will be the next phase of opposition in Nigerian democracy. If you also follow the trajectory very well, just yesterday, the Federal High Court in Abuja gave a judgment against the leadership of David Mark led ADC. It was reported that not only that they did not recognize or derecognize the leadership of David Mark, they also said that the fact that they disallowed those state chairmen from participating in the convention conducted recently, so the convention is null and void. And what that means is that whatever decisions that were taken at that convention were nothing but an academic exercise. However, one thing I know is that the people under this platform, they were also experienced Nigerian politicians who know that, or should know, they should know that the pendulum will swing one way or the other. And therefore, I know they have alternative platforms. They have alternative platform to say, in case the outcome is this, this should be the next place we should face. As we speak today,
with the constitutional review,
I don't see ADC making any headway in this dispensation, in this election that is coming, because as at yesterday, the judgment given was in favor of those state chairmen that went to court. And as we speak, their own tenure expires by May 13. So let's even assume that they are now the one in charge of ADC. They don't have 21 days that is required by the Electoral Act to give notice to INEC. So either way, whether it is the one that is led by David Mark or the one that has gone to court and now received judgment in their favor, ADC is floating. ADC is as good as gone. To now nail it for you, just this morning it was brought to the public that Attorney General of the Federation has approached the court to deregister a few parties, including ADC, based on the events of the last few weeks or few months. But the ADC and the opposition will be quick to tell you that every challenge we face today is caused by the ruling party. Professor Udenta was on a TV station this morning, and one of the journalists asked him, because after he has spoken for a long time, condemning president, condemning the party, condemning everybody, and sparing the people, the APC, the party members themselves, the lady asked him, are you saying that there is no fault of these people at all in all of this? That they didn't play any role, everything was caused from outside? He said yes. And I was disappointed at a man at that highest level, because of being disgruntled, because of being embittered. Even me, as small as I am, I understand that before the leadership of David Mark went to ADC at all, go and listen to a sister celebrated show last night, 7 o'clock. You will hear a number of issues that were raised.
Yes, exactly.
Immediately they went to ADC. Nigerians reminded them, including journalists, that this platform you are going to already has issues. Dumebi Kachiku took Raf Mosu to court as far back as 2022, 2023. The same way Bejide, what do you call him, sir? Abejide, the only representative they have in the National House of National Assembly from Kogi, took them to court. So you have cases already in court. It's a platform that is already controversial. You went into it without resolving those issues, without even calling those people to say, whatever the issues, let's resolve it. When you also eventually call me and say the ownership has been transferred to you, many people say you have bought the platform because you have paid the owner of the platform, so to say, Raf Mosu, is whatever that he asked for. And at that point, when you say these people should resign, I know you have had some agreements with them. At that point, when you could not fulfill those agreements, naturally there will be pushbacks.
Exactly.
But how well were you able to handle those pushbacks? We could all see those guys said they didn't resign, and they could go to court to prove that they did not resign. That's why they got judgment in their favor yesterday. So how could you leave all that and blame everything on APC, who is not their member? So I say to some Nigerians that when you look at political issues, look at it dispassionately. Look at it on a neutral ground. The fact remains that you can't wish away the roles when I say opposition now, I mean the ruling party, will have played in their roles. It is normal. It is very normal. I can tell you in 2010, 2011, a lot was done to dismantle opposition under a very gentle president. To the extent that later there was some rapprochement between Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current president, and Jonathan. You will recall that eventually Jonathan won in all the 5 western states, except Osun State. Is the only place where Ribadu won as the candidate of ACN. Why do you think that happened? Because they were able to do some handshake. So it's normal that the ruling government will want to throw spanner on your will. It's normal.
So, Bosun.
So how much you are able to stand to it and to demystify whatever is thrown at you shows how ready you are to play politics.
That is for the NDC.
That's for the
NDC.
However, we have 21 more parties.
We have 21 other parties, including the PDP.
So that is why when people shout the government is killing opposition, they don't want opposition to exist, and I will remind them that there are 1,001 other platforms that exist. As at today, NDC is one of the newest political parties in Nigeria.
Right.
And the guy is doing very well. When I say the guy, I'm talking about the founder, the former governor of Bayelsa State. Many are looking at that direction now. So it's not a direction that has controversy. And I said it last time I came here.
Do we still have time, or rather do
we have time. They have up to May 30.
Right. What
so they are not, you know what they did, and I'm saying this, they are the one who caused this problem. You don't necessarily come to a platform and you want to hijack it. If they had come to ADC and allow the structures to remain and they operate within it, we won't have this problem. But if you want to leave ADC today, I want to go to another party, I want to throw, maybe not David Mark now, you want to throw Amechi as the next chairman and put Aregbesola again as the secretary, you will have the same problem. You now
what do you think there was that need to come and take over the leadership? Because the whole problem here wasn't that they were not allowed as members who would eventually contest.
Because that is the way an afraid Nigerian politician behaves. And I said it last time, I said over time, and it happened a lot under Buhari, but because we have a politician as president now who understands the rules, that's why you will see. Somebody was talking yesterday, Liberos Oshoma. He said, this guy, if you want to fight with him, even whether it is court you want to use, any way you want to use, he's ahead of you. Because he's the one politician that will tutor his lawyer. Will give you...
And by this person, who are we referring to?
I'm referring to the current president.
Okay.
So I'm saying to you that this is a smart politician who will explore whatever loophole that you create to fight against you. So if you are fighting with somebody like that, you must let your thinking cap be on at all times. So situation where you go to a platform and you want to take it overnight, it's not ideal. But Nigerian politicians, they do that over time. They did a lot of that under Buhari. Where some people will go few days to another political party, they will take over the place. It's not done. You can go to a party, what happened when Erifai and Co went to SDP. Immediately got to SDP began to have issues.
Exactly.
Because you want to come here and determine the way the place is run. There is a party that some people have been in charge for how many years? No. So let's understand that if opposition will make any serious impact in 2027, which is already at the corner. There must be
really
need
have run out of time
for them to be very serious.
Okay, so my last question, yeah, but we don't have time for Ibadan. But the last question I have here is: if elections were held today, are Nigerians informed enough about the administration's good intentions towards the improving economy and all the outcomes that we see now? Will this president win if elections were held right now?
So I've said it before: 24 hours is too long in politics.
Absolutely.
So thank God that the election is not going to be held
in 24 hours.
So between now and January, that we are hearing that the election will be held, it's a whole lot of time for both opposition and the ruling party. So the ruling party has a whole lot of time between now and that time to amend, to bring to the people. A number of things have already started. So to ensure that Nigerians can heave some sigh of relief, to ensure that, okay, these things we have done, we actually done in your interest, and these are the likely gains that you begin to see, and not a rhetoric again, because we have done the rhetoric for 3 years. So it has to begin to trickle down. People must begin to see what are the gains of these reforms over the last 3 years, and more reforms are also coming on board. But for the opposition, there is need for them to tight whatever they are doing now, to conclude it and ensure, because an opposition that will challenge the ruling party in next year election, by now they should be set. If care is not taken, they will do this back and forth till few days to election, and that will not be good for our democracy.
Thank you so much for your contributions this morning. And of course,
I think we should bring him back next week after this.
Oh, of course, he's a regular. He's always going to be here to discuss more.
There's a whole lot to join.
Yeah, and we really have run out of time. I wish we could discuss more, but we still have another week to do that. My name is Joy Asaye. Thanking you for watching today's edition of RAZEP Africa.
And I am Wime Anete. Thank you and good morning.